I made a candy sort of robot, and I decided to do a presentation last night, so I spent a little bit of time doing a little PowerPoint for you all. That's the whole presentation. Okay, so I decided to make a candy sorter that sorts candy by color, and then I decided to do this because I really like candy and just wanted an excuse to buy a lot of candy and eat a lot of candy. So now I get to do that and then pretend that I like robots. So for the materials, I use one brick and then lots of candies, and then 3 motors, 1 color sensor, 1 touch sensor, some gears, and a lot of standard Legos. So I had all the materials I needed. There wasn't anything that I needed else. For the loading, which is in this part, the candy goes in the top here, and then this gear stops all of them from going on to the next part, and then on certain intervals, the gear will change 90 degrees to let the candy go to the next part. And then in the next part, it falls directly onto this gear where the sensor decides what color it is. And then after a certain amount of time, it drops it to the next part. And then the color, I use it to detect hue and detect reflection depending on what color it was. And then at the end, it drops off of here and then falls down onto the ramp after the ramp moves to the certain bin, and then it falls into the bin, and then the hand moves back. And then I also wanted it to show like how many colors of each one has gone through already, so it counts which colors have gone through and then displays it, and then also displays the total amount. It's kind of hard to see. So I tried lots of different candies. I started off with Skittles, and they were yummy and all, but they weren't very round, so they didn't fit very well, and the color sensor was weird for it. M&M's was the same, and then so I decided to go with Gobstops at the end because they were spherical. And then for the loading device, it was weird because if it didn't fall exactly into the certain spot, the code would have to be like really extensive to make sure it was at a certain place. So it was just easier to redesign it based off of just dropping it exactly into the spot. And then I also added a button, so if someone wanted to start it, they could press the button, and then if candies got stuck, they could press the button again and bring the next candy in. Okay, so for starting, basically, you press the button, it sends the first candy, and then it gets the color of the first candy, and then it displays the colors, like the count of all the colors, so it starts off at 0. And then for yellow and green, it was really easy. It just detects a certain like parameter for the color, and then the arm moves, and then drops the candy, and then moves back. But for red and orange on the next slide, it's a lot more difficult. Yeah, so for red and orange, the hue was really similar for both. So if it's in the correct hue, then it goes to the next step, and then it looks at the reflected value, because the reflected value of the red and orange is more like different. So like once it gets the hue and the reflected, it like changes the arm based off of that, instead of just the hue by itself. Okay, so problems, as you can see from this yellow ball in the green one. Sometimes the color sensor doesn't always work because the lighting in the room changes how the color sensor like sees a little bit too, and then also sometimes it misses the bins, and also sometimes it falls off of the little arm, which is weird because sometimes, like yesterday I tried it and it worked 77 times out of 77, and then this morning I tried it and it was just all over the place. So to solve the problems in the future, I made a color sensor guard, which like keeps a lot of the reflected light from the room out of it. And then also in the future, I want to do like guidance from the screen, so it like can tell a person like what problems it's having and like how to fix it and like when to press the button. And then also I would have liked like more statistics, like how like the percentages of the colors, and then like if it's different than like a national average or whatever. You can also like put in other like candies or like marbles or whatever, as long as they're a similar size, and also if they're spherical, and you would just have to change the color parameters on that. And then the real question you'll have, Laurel, is there extra candy? Yes, I have Skittles, so we can have that later today. Yeah.